And good evening, everybody, and welcome to Ladies' Night of the Big Chat. We just booted
Woo woo.
all the guys off, and we're like, screw y'all. We're just gonna have a lady-filled Big Brother night. Yep. Careful, Randall, kick your ass.
Wow. Judo chop.
Yep. You give him that ninja chop and the Judy chop.
The Judy chop.
I think I'm missing one in there. I have to send you that. Have you never heard of the Boone County Ninja? What's happening? Where'd Amanda go? She'll be back.
Oh, there I am.
Oh, there you are. I was like, what happened?
I thought I lost you, and I was like, oh no.
No,
We can't do this without you.
Thankfully, no trees have fallen on any power lines today. Thank you, Jesus. But yeah, I'll have to send you a clip of that. We've got a Boone County Ninja, and I think
Nice.
there's your karate chop, your ninja chop, and your Judy chop.
Nice. Yes, you have to send me that.
Yep. It's pretty great. It's been like years ago. I think like in early 2000s. But oh gosh, it's great. Hello, Kitty.
Hey, kitty.
But before we get too much into this evening, we just want to give a shout out to Yerg's Radio for allowing us to go out on there, and a big thanks to the Parapost Network for supporting us, and to TSN for being our baby daddy. We appreciate you. Thank you for the child support. We appreciate it. So, how was your weekend?
Oh,
We're busy.
Yes. Packing and moving my son into college. I'm glad to be back home.
I don't
How
blame
was
you.
your
Not one bit.
weekend?
Eventful. Very eventful.
You got some cool stones I saw in a
Oh, yeah.
journal. Uh-huh.
I gotta show you this
Very
journal.
cool. Oh, yes, I wanna see the journal. You sent me a picture of the stones, but I was like, "What about the journal?"
Well, I didn't want to take it out of my bag because Buns has a way of finding anything. But so
Mhm.
this company is Misty Mountains something. I took a picture of them, but so these
Okay.
are all handmade by their company,
Mhm.
and I was looking through all of them because there was initially one bigger one that I really liked, but you got to go with that intuition on when something feels right. Hold on, let me
Mhm.
wrap this back up to show you it before I unwrap it. But so these are like tea stained, pages and everything.
Oh.
And I love these, but I get so nervous about writing on them. Like I
Yes.
would just collect them if I could. But look at the front of this.
Is it leather?
Yeah, and it's like
Mhm.
it's genuine leather,
Yes.
but um it's got this really pretty tie around it here.
Nice.
And it's like you can like look how that's
Mhm.
that's some real leather right there.
Yes.
And it's
And
just,
real parchment paper.
yes, it's just
Yeah,
absolutely gorgeous.
I love that. I
And it,
like the size of it. I have
mhm.
one, it's not tea stained, but it's the parchment paper with the leather, but it's bigger, and I'm really scared to write it.
Yeah, they had some big ones. And I was like,
Mhm.
I have a feeling I'm not going to like the answer. I said, but how much are those bigger ones? And he's like,
Yeah.
well, we're starting at $200. And I was like, yeah, I figured.
Yes,
Not even
mine
going to
was
touch
a
it.
gift.
I was like, I'm not even going to touch it.
But I
But
do a lot
yeah,
of spells, and I think I'll, like, write the spell out on a page and then transfer it so it's exactly the way I want it to be on the first page of notebook paper, and
yep.
then transfer it to the parchment.
That that's kind of what I was thinking because I am just a whore for notebooks.
Mhm.
Um, and I have a really pretty one that I got off of Amazon. There are two. One I got off of Amazon, and it kind of reminds you of this a little bit with how it's wrapped up, but
Mhm.
it's actually like spiral bound, but
Mhm.
the pages still look like that worn ish
Yeah,
kind of thing. The only thing I don't like is that it's spiral bound. It kind of takes away from it for me.
right.
And then there's another one that is leather and it's lined, and I got that several years ago back whenever I worked at Goodwill, and I just can't bring myself
Oh,
to write
wow.
in it because it's so nice. It's big,
Mhm.
but it's gorgeous.
It would be
And
nice to
this,
have it lined.
yeah, but these people were just so incredibly friendly, and
Mhm.
the majority of them had like, which I thought was interesting because typically if there's like a class right here on, it's right here on the front. That is Buns. Buns is making you aware of that she's here. Excuse my rabbit. Um, but some of them were like, typically it's on this side. Some of them
Mhm.
were on this side, and some of them were even like on the spine, like it folded over and you could lock it, which I
Oh,
thought was really
nice.
neat.
Yeah.
So, so yeah,
I don't think I've seen the lock on the spine before.
I haven't either, but that's like my baby now.
That's cool.
But it it was such a good convention. And I mean, it's um, steered away kind of what your typical convention would be,
Mhm.
but I absolutely loved it. Like I was showing you the pictures earlier of
Yeah.
that the one people that is where I got all my crystals from
Mhm.
had, and I was listening to the lady tell one of the people at the table. Apparently, the majority of where they get their stuff from is taxidermy places.
Oh,
She said
wow.
she even found a guy who reached out to her and was like, "Oh yeah, I've got a bunch of fox skulls in like a pile out back. You can go look through and see what you want."
You know I'm all about that.
And I forget what this one was, but this was the last one left, and it's such a pretty light purple.
Oh, pretty.
I haven't ever seen one like that before. And
Huh.
then there's some like Dalmatian jasper, I believe it is.
Interesting.
And then I really liked, they had some that were in little hearts, but I really
Mhm.
liked this one because the design on it is really cool.
I like
So
that.
I got that one in a little heart and a little regular quartz heart. But yeah, so
Nice.
it was a successful trip. You know,
That's awesome.
getting crystals, meeting connections. It's good to getting more stuff I don't need, but
Of course. That's all the stuff we actually want.
yep, yep, yep. I was happy with it. That's all that
That's
mattered.
awesome.
So I
Great.
think we are gonna have quite the interesting week in the house.
I think so. Yeah, it's coming down.
Yeah. So, and I think what was it like? We thought last week was good. This week is gonna be something else.
Oh, yeah.
So this is episode 12 that we're on now, and a little preview, a little recap, from last week. So obviously Kenney went home, crybaby Kenney went home, and if you preach it ginger, can't have too many stones.
That's right.
I don't know if you personally have seen it, Amanda, but there is on one of the Big Brother pages. I'll have to see if I can go back and find it. It's I don't know if he was doing a TikTok or just a video or something on his way home, and he's like, "Yeah, for all of you out there, my wife has been telling me all the way home what a horrible job I did, how I didn't build any alliances, I didn't make any friends." It was pretty great.
She
I was like,
wanted that money.
yeah, she's like, "You wuss.
You
You
blew it.
wuss.
You blew your one chance.
Now I can never retire." Oh, but it was funny. I was just like, "You got it. He's taken care of. I don't got to give him any more shit. She's got him."
Oh, yeah.
But so, Kenny went home, and both MJ and Quinn's powers were fully revealed because obviously MJ used hers to take herself off the block, and then I guess it was technically Tucker that outed Quinn to everybody officially, because I guess it, you can't keep a secret in that house, because it literally showed after Tucker talking to a couple people about it, just it like going around the house.
Yeah.
So it was a
Everyone's
matter
connected
of,
somehow, you know.
look, if we could, I would refer back to the alliances puzzle.
The Quinn alliances.
Yeah. So yeah, it made it around. I think it was just a matter of if if everybody else knew that everybody else knew, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But so on the block was Tucker, Kenney, and Angela. Tucker won the veto competition, and for the first time this season, he kept himself on the block, took Angela off,
Shock.
because he thought in him and Cedric, who was last week's head of house, that they had this agreement that they were going to put Quinn up, which I would love to know fully where Cedric's thought process was that, oh, it's a good idea to get MJ out before we get Quinn out.
Right.
Now, also makes me wonder, though, if the voting still would have been the same had, Quinn initially been put up instead of MJ. But so MJ had America's veto. So when Cedric named her, big standoff right there in front of between Cedric and Tucker about how Tucker is like, "I'm coming for you. Screw you. Screw your family." He didn't actually say all that, but it might as well have been.
It may as well been, yes.
I have a very unique set of skills.
With the CIA.
Yeah. See, there we go. So then once MJ is up there, Tucker gets ready to end the veto meeting, and she's like, "Oh, by the way, bitch, nope." So,
I
we
love
were
the way
all,
she did it.
yeah, actually, it's not.
Yeah.
So America got, which basically means that that third position stayed open until after America voted who was going to take her spot. Of course, America chose correctly and put Quinn up in her place. And Glenn, if you're listening, the American people are still waiting on their check that you owe them. So
I still wonder how Quinn feels about that. Like, how does it feel to have America vote for you to be kicked off
how's
the show?
how's it feel that America hates you that bad, buddy?
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
a little snake in the
He
grass.
is.
He's such a piece of shit, and it makes me
He
so mad because I liked him so much from the start. And I mean,
I know.
you do have to. Yes, Beth, tell him he owes the American people a check for voting for Quinn, even though it didn't work. He still owes them a check. They're waiting. So it makes it like it was like you got to be kidding me, because he seemed like such a good guy to start off with, but then I also kind of have to look at it, despite all her crybaby moments, of like what Angela said, this is Big fucking Brother.
Yeah,
And I mean, he's playing the game, he's just making
he is.
himself look like an ass.
Yeah, I don't think he really meant to. He was really just trying to get in the game, but he screwed himself over.
I don't know, because I would like to think that, but at the same time I'm kind of like, maybe he was just playing the nice guy so that he could get on all these alliances that he can't
Oh, I'm
keep straight in
sure.
his own head.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was the super fan pretty much. So,
Mhm.
who knows?
He was a
Um,
very likable person. We even
yeah,
liked him.
yeah.
Everyone likes him.
Like, he's just a goofy dude. He's a little awkward, but all right. You know, he can go swoon over Leah all he wants. I don't care. But
I can't believe she gave him the time of day.
he's not. He hasn't eaten enough. He hasn't eaten enough. She's gonna have to fatten him up.
Yep.
Good lord, their whole like love
Oh
octagon going
gosh.
on there. Just I'm not even gonna get started.
Yeah.
But but so America voted Quinn in, and to our chagrin here, and I hope to God America's, the only person that voted for Quinn to go home was Tucker. Everybody else voted for Kenney. After they just found out that this guy who is they're in all these alliances with didn't tell them about his power, was being very sneaky behind their back, and they're just like, nah, Kenney can go home. What the hell?
It makes you wonder if America would change their mind now.
Probably not. They're like, nah, we stand by it. We stand by who we voted for.
Mhm.
It was the right pick, and Quinn can go cry and bitch and moan all he wants about how Tucker played the game, but damn if Tucker did not
Yeah.
play the mother effing game.
Do you think everyone would have chosen Angela if they could have?
I don't know. It's a good
I don't
question,
either.
but I don't know. Because, I mean, they're all gunning for her, but it almost comes down to who do they hate more. Maybe
Right.
who do they not want to listen to bitch more?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see Angela turning into a crotchety old woman, just crybaby Angela. But I mean,
Mm,
shoot, Kenny losing his crap on the girls for having a good time, and
mhm.
yeah, bring out the code of conduct, bring out the Big Brother code of conduct. Old fart.
I think he was trying to find a way to get home without losing his payday.
I wouldn't be terribly surprised if that was part of it too. But so it was big drama big drama and big threats between Cedric and Tucker. Um, 'Cause it was, but you got to go back and watch it if you haven't, because it was just, I'm coming for you next week. If it's down to the two of us, I'm gonna kick your ass, and that's that. So that for the week, Cedric actually screwed himself twice as much, because not only did he make an enemy of Tucker, who this is his second time winning the veto competition, He also made an enemy of MJ. Granted, I don't know how much of a threat she is now that she doesn't have a power, but I mean, you've got all the girls there that she's commingled in with. So who knows? But nonetheless, we ain't got to deal with crybaby Kenney, so whoop whoop for that. So, as we started off with the episode, Chelsea basically says now it's down to the Pentagon versus Tucker after his second win in the AI arena. Which, of course, if he's got beef with Tucker, he's got beef with the whole Pentagon. Now he's got beef with Quinn, so now he's got twice the beef with the Pentagon. So Joseph tells Cedric that that Tucker is now going to have to keep on winning because they think now he's got such a huge target on him. But I feel like that could kind of be debatable. Of it either has a very big target on him or says, don't fuck with me because I'm going to win. So, Cam, something that I thought was very interesting was that apparently Cam even gave Tucker a heads up before the eviction that people were now wanting him gone because of all of his wins. So, again, I guess I can never keep all of these. That's how I don't understand how Quinn is doing it. I can't keep all these alliances straight. Is Cam part of the Pentagon? No, wait. The Pentagon is Brooke,
No.
Quinn. No, I think it is. I think it's
Is
because
he?
Brooke and Quinn were the last two, and then I think it's
Let's see.
Chelsea, Cedric, and Cam. I've got too many notes to try to go look back through having all this written down. I'm on episode 12 here of all my notes. But I thought it was interesting that he kind of went outside of his alliance to tell Tucker that people were gunning for him.
Mm-hmm.
So Tucker now thinks that he has to win HOH to ensure his safety for that week, which I think is pretty smart, and he's not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So Tucker says that Quinn put a really big target on his back because of the speech that he gave before his potential eviction, which, and I quote, was that if you keep me, I will get rid of that no good, dirty, rotten, pig stealing, knucklehead McDorkatron called Tucker. Which took a McDorkatron to write.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I didn't even know that word existed.
I've heard Dorkatron, but I mean, as if a McRib doesn't come with it, then I'm not interested.
Right.
So then we get to our HOH competition for this week, and Quinn says before everything gets started that he obviously everybody wants to win, but Quinn wants to win so that he can put Tucker up without revealing he's a spineless liar. Those are his words. Because he just told everyone he has no interest in using his power up. And we'll see how quickly he goes back on that. And as just a reminder, so Quinn's power is the Deepfake HOH, where he can take over the current HOH's nomination for eviction. The word that it made me think of was McSpazatron, but I forget which. There was a movie that I saw that off of. I can't remember.
I don't know that one. It just makes me want McDonald's.
No, I think it was Knucklehead McSpazatron. It was off of the SpongeBob movie before he rocks out into I'm a Goofy Goober. There's an old lady that yells at him, "A Knucklehead McSpazatron!" Yeah. I knew it would come to me. Let's see. So his power is the Deepfake HOH, where he can take over a current HOH's nomination for eviction, Which, come to find out later, apparently I was under the same impression as Angela about how it worked. So I can't say it's entirely her fault for thinking what she thinks, which we'll get to after a bit. So it would take over whoever is in for HOH, and it would be a huge surprise had everyone not found out about him. So the game for the HOH competition is, so 2 house guests at a time will come up to the podium and have to pick out of 3 AI images which one is incorrect. And the AI images are AI images generated with previous Big Brother house guests on them. So there's A, B, and C. And once they figure out the one that has whatever in it is incorrect, they have to press the corresponding button that goes with each one. And if you are the first to buzz in correctly, you stay in and your opponent is out. The winner gets to pick the next 2 house guests to face off. If you buzz in first and are incorrect, you are eliminated and your opponent gets to pick the next 2. So last player standing wins head of household. So the first up for random draw was Cam versus Chemo. Cam picked the correct answer on that one, so that meant Chemo was out. Cam then picked Quinn and Tucker to go up. Quinn hit C, which was wrong, so that meant that he was out. So Tucker picked for Chelsea and Angela to go up. Angela's choice was A, which was correct, so Chelsea was out. Up next was Rubina and Brooke. Brooke hit C, which was correct. And I want to point out right here is when the drama starts. So Angela has already been up once. It is Rubina and Brooke that she picks. So Brooke answers it correctly, which means that Rubina is out. It is then Brooke's choice of the next 2 people that go up. She chooses Angela, who has already went previously, and MJ to go up. Angela gets that one correct, so she picks Brooke and Leah. Fair. Nope. I read that wrong. Hold on. So it was Angela and MJ are up. Brooke chooses Angela and MJ. So Angela gets that one. She puts up Brooke and Leah. So that means that MJ is out. So keep in mind, Brooke was the one who chose Angela a second time around. Even though there were already people still sitting, waiting to go, that hadn't gone yet. That hadn't even gone a first time. So, and Brooke is now pissed at Angela that she picked her again. But honey, you did it first. You picked her. You picked her for a second time before she picked you.
Mm-hmm.
Consider y'all even Stevens now. You're good.
Yeah.
So, Brooke and Leah are up. Brooke buzzes in first with the wrong answer. So she is out. And that is where she thus holds her everlasting revenge on Angela. So Leah puts up Cam and Joseph. Cam wins out of the 2 of those and puts up T-Core and Tucker. T-Core wins out of those 2. T-Core then puts up Angela and Leah. For some reason, after this, which I would probably have to go back and watch because I don't remember right off the bat, for whatever reason, this is starting to make Tucker suspicious of Cam. And I love, as much as I hate him as a human being and a player, I do love all the references that Quinn makes when it comes to Angela. Because, a couple weeks ago, Angela is the Godzilla to Quinn's Tokyo.
Yes.
And now this week, Quinn is nervous because Angela is the CEO of blowing up his game. So I can at least appreciate that. So with Angela versus Leah, Angela wins. She's killing it. So Leah's out. Then it's T-Core versus Cam. Cam wins, so T-Core's out. So that leaves it down to the final two, which is Cam versus Angela. Angela wins. Angela is now our head of household and the first head of household for this season to be head of household twice. Now, what we can only hope is that on Wednesday, Matt shows back up. All we can hope for. So,
Why?
Matt. I need another good image.
Oh my gosh.
We need a repeat of first week. We need the drama.
She lost her mind.
I can't even fully speak as to why I think she did. I think there was just a lot of immediate pressure being the first HOH. And it's kind of why I can sympathize with her, where a lot of people don't, because, the way he was acting, you'd believe him to a point.
Right.
So, I can get how it might have. I can't say that it would have fucked me up as mentally as it fucked her, but I get it. I get part of it. I think I would, I fully agree back to what T-Core said about the whole thing, which she's like, it's not how I would have handled it, but.
Right. She's so mature for her age, though. Like,
Bless
she
her.
stands a chance of winning this thing.
Bless her. The only thing that I can hope at this point is for Quinn to go home so we can have a T-Core and chemo as the last two.
Yes.
Get Quinn out of there. Y'all can think that he is there just for y'all. He can say it all day long, but I don't believe him one bit.
Tucker plays really well, though, the games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's going to be hard to beat Tucker.
So, and he gets so pumped and he's so amusing to watch, too. He makes good TV.
Yeah.
So Tucker is very excited for Angela winning and now feels like she's someone that he can trust. They have that little back and forth if he just saved her ass last week, so they're good for now. So Quinn now feels that Angela winning is going to force his hand in using the upgrade, which, if we recall from last week, he had no interest in using. And if we need to go back a little bit of just how much of what he called himself, a spineless liar. So, and I thought it was interesting that MJ makes it a point to, I believe they were all in the bathroom, and Angela, MJ, and I think two other people were in there, and MJ says something along the lines of, well, we'll just have to see what he picks. And Angela's just kind of like, what are you talking about? And she's like, well, Quinn. And she's like, I don't think he'll use it. And I'm like, you done the one who probably in about 20 minutes from when this happened flat out tells Tucker that he's a snake in the grass. So
Yep. It was coming.
But she doesn't think he'll use it. She's wrong. So for some reason, Brooke is still harboring these feelings of Angela targeting her in the competition, which I just want to turn into that meme of Robert Downey Jr. with his arms crossed and his eyes are just like,
Yes.
because it just harkens back to Matt. She shouldn't have brought my mom into this. You were the one who brought her into it the first time. And that's exactly what this is. I don't understand where the poor me baby shit comes from. And for anybody that might not understand that, it's just the oh woe is me. I call the whiny, complainy, woe is me, poor me baby shit. It's Southern for you. Get used to it. And I don't make it make sense. The math isn't mathing. So they go, and it's funny with like looking at the posts on Facebook and like seeing some of the chats here or there. I'm like, okay, well, she picked her twice. Like, are we talking like twice in a row? Okay, maybe there's something to be a little about there. But then when
Right.
you see what happens, you're like, girl, grow a set of balls.
Mhm.
Girl, grow some cojones. This is, words of Angela, this is big fucking brother.
Although she does seem to wanna get her out of there.
And if you notice that, so Brooke goes to talk to Angela about it, and she wants to know why she picked her twice, and for some reason she took it as a personal slight.
Mhm.
But Angela was like, no, it wasn't meant personally at all. You're smart. You're doing good. Obviously, she doesn't say this, but like obviously if you're doing good, you're smart, you're fast, you're going to want to get them out first. And
That's
never
right.
once of anything that Angela could have said does she goes, well, you did it to me first. That's what I would have said. I would have been like,
Mhm.
wait a minute. Oh, you're funny. You're funny. You're pulling my leg. Um, but Angela also makes it a point to say that Brooke's place is guaranteed, which Brooke doesn't seem to understand. And Angela is saying that, like, look, everybody's out for me week after week. I want a do-over of what happened the first week. And I just need to be safe another week because everybody wants me gone. If I'm safe, I'm here, I can't go home. Whereas I don't think that anybody has you on their list of targets. And Brooke disagrees with her on that, but I think Angela has a point to that like Brooke isn't right there on anybody's immediate target.
Right.
Um, Brooke starts getting kind of upset, saying that she did her dirty, and Angela is like, "No, I didn't. Just a good player. You got to get out the good players." So somehow that now warrants Brooke saying that Angela now has an enemy in her. So maybe when Brooke was saying that she was a spicy cupcake, she meant petty cupcake. I'm smelling a little bit of petty,
Mhm.
and I thought it was very funny that Angela to Brooke is being very reassuring and kind and like motherly, like you would expect somebody to be, and it's just like, oh
Mhm.
no, honey, it wasn't meant any kind of way. This is how it is. Then
Yeah.
it flashes over to her like in the diary room, and she's like, "Get over it, Brooklyn."
I love it.
and and so then once Brooke leaves and is like telling the camera that Angela's now made an enemy of her, I don't even know what the point of it was, because I guess Brooke had started crying a little bit. Angela is like standing there looking up at one of the cameras going, I can't can't do it. I can't cry. I can't make it happen.
Uh,
Yeah, you've done cried out a year's worth of tears in what, like a month here? So then it goes into Quinn, Brooke, and Chelsea are discussing how Angela doesn't get how Quinn's upgrade works, which is when I found out that, okay, apparently I didn't understand it either. So Angela is under the impression that the week carries on like normal, pretty much, and she gets to pick her 3 nominees, and then Quinn can basically go, don't want that one, trade that one for this one, blah, 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 blah. No, we don't even get that far. So it's just he invokes his power and his picks automatically go up, which would have been a lot more interesting had it happened before now, before everybody knew it was his power.
yes.
Considering what it gets to there at the end, it would have been much cooler.
He could have so kept that a secret and no one would have known.
Well, unless you're talking and swooning over Tucker, then you kind of got to tell him. Talking to you, Chemo. I mean, we understand, but come on. So Brooke seems to believe, even though, Quinn lied to all of them, and I don't even know if lying is the right word, just certainly was not 100% truthful with them. Brooke is still like, yeah, I don't think he'll use it unless he absolutely has to. No, of course he's going to use it. Of course he's going to use it. But she believes that he also never had the intention to use it, but he will now if it's in the best interest of the Pentagon. And Angela and Tucker now have, their little bond, and Angela is trying to do whatever she can to make sure that Tucker stays safe, because he just saved her ass last week. And they kind of have like a little talk, which the little talk to me kind of sounded like most people don't understand how the deepfake works. Because he says to her, like, I'd really appreciate it if you put up Quinn. I don't know what kind of thing you guys have. And she's like, we don't have anything right now, other than them being, cordial enough living in the same house. And Tucker makes mention of, well, I know that, you and Cedric are good. And she's like, whoa, no. He put my ass up last week.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she was very heavily leaning into picking Brooke, because apparently Brooke is running all of the girls. Ben gets into our favorite part here. So Rabina does come out and say that her and Tucker are close, if that's what we're calling it. And he says that they're close, but he doesn't plan on being in a showman's, but she can't help it when she's feeling things. And things the other night were getting a little steamy, not gonna lie. It was pretty hot. It was pretty hot.
I know, she was like, "Oh, I almost kissed you." I was like, "Almost?" It's like, "Go for it."
That was when they were in the kitchen too, and she's like,
Yeah.
I thought with the position that they were in that he had
Yeah.
whispered something to her, because I was about to be like,
Yes.
oh, what did you What did you tell her? Oh,
I know.
I want to hear it.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah. But so she was just like, oh, I just almost kissed you, and he's like, yeah, we probably shouldn't be alone in the same room together whenever nobody else is here. Because then it cuts into like a little bit older of a clip of the two of them laying on one of their beds, and Chemo and Tikor are getting ready to walk in.
Yeah.
But Chemo peeks his head around the corner and just starts slowly backing out. And in the frame, you can see Tikor's head like right behind Chemo, and she's
And
like,
Ravina's got her leg over Tucker.
yeah.
Like, they're so
And he
cute
was just
together.
like, ew, ew. Sorry, guys. But they
And they
are.
slowly
They
close
are.
it. Can you close a door any slower than he closed that door?
He's like, you guys need anything, let me know. But they're so cute. She is just so tiny, and he is very New York, and it's good. It's
He
good
could just
TV.
keep her in his pocket.
Yep, pretty much. Like, shoot, he could carry her around like a backpack.
Yeah.
And she was trying to carry him around, but that didn't
Oh my
work.
gosh, that was so funny. I mean, she did for a minute.
Yeah,
Farther than
and
I could have carried him.
no, I mean those one scenes after he won and everything was like, need a
Before
washcloth.
he shaved.
I need a cold towel. I need something. Need some ice.
The chops look good on him.
It was very Ace Ventura, and I was very attracted to it. I am contemplating taking out the background of that and just making a shirt with that picture on it that says Bumblebee Tuna,
I love
because
it.
I can. So, and we can talk on our obsession with the two of these trying to fuck later. But, rocks? Rocks?
Rocks, rocks. Pretty rock.
Um, yep, I just, hold on, let me get the attention. Come on, over here. Come on. So in a surprising move, Quinn decides to go talk to Angela to kind of see if any of their thinking aligns with each other's, which I was kind of like, why even bother? You're not gonna agree with her. Um, so she's like, okay, well, who is your first hard no? And he says, probably Chemo, because I told him the first week. Told Angela the first week too. And Chemo was very easily swooned, so I mean, you gotta watch. And then she's like, okay, well, what about your second and third? And like, I don't know what kind of information he thought he was gonna get out of her, but it was not much of anything. So he goes back to Chemo and to Core, and it's so hard with him because he's such a little snake in the grass, and a liar, and a knucklehead McSpazatron. That you don't know who he's being genuine with.
Mhm.
The Jeffersons or the Richardsons, whatever that other group he's part of, I don't even remember the name.
Andersons.
But yeah. I'm just gonna say the Jeffersons. Um,
Moving on
you
up.
don't see anything happening with them, so it really only seems like necessarily he's loyal to the Pentagon and it's not
He
the
has too many
intellectuals.
alliances.
It's not the intellectuals. I'm gonna call it the mega minds because I can. So he goes in and says that his only real the people that he's really real with are the Megaminds, which
Mm-hmm.
who even knows? So they are the first ones that he goes to tell them that he's activating his power. And I had hoped for a little bit more build up to what happened. I was left a little sad with it that nothing more really came of it, but they are basically all in agreement, which seemed more like Chemo was a little like eh, eh. But he names Tucker, MJ, and Rubina, thinking that if Rubina wins, she'll pull down Tucker. But I thought it was interesting that they didn't name it the other way around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I think if he wins Veto, say he keeps himself up there and takes her down, what what good what good is it to them if he really wants Tucker out to be looking at it that if Rubina wins, she'll take Tucker down? Because I don't think that even with it, and I could be wrong because I'm finding out tonight that I was looking at this wrong the whole time. But I don't think he can re-put Tucker back up there. So I don't understand that course of action. Um,
He would have to lose.
and he's on a. I mean, it can always happen, but he's on a pretty good streak right now.
He is.
So the three of them decide that that's a good decision because obviously he needs Tucker gone, and T-Core makes it a point to just be like, I think it's a good idea, but make sure you're thinking about what is best for your game. So Quinn then pulls Cedric aside to talk to him about his choices. And because Quinn had said he was not going to go for this unless everybody in the house was in agreement. Which I guess everybody in the house in agreement except for Angela, Tucker, uh, MJ, and Rubina. Everybody else, we're good. Um, so then they toy with the idea of putting Cedric up instead of Rubina. So it would be um, Tucker, MJ, and Cedric. Um, but also with that, they were only going to do it if everybody agreed. So basically, putting Tucker up, or not Tucker, putting Cedric up as a pawn. So then at that point, Ainsley calls everyone to the living room as Angela, as an AI looking exact replica of Angela. And that's why I was saying it would be so much cooler if maybe on like week 2 this happened and nobody knew who had what. But now
Mm-hmm.
that we all know, it doesn't make it as cool because we're like,
Right.
okay, well, obviously Angela didn't pick those people. It's the little shithead with all the curly hair at the end of the couch. So she says that she's naming her 3 nominees, and Angela's like, no, that's not me. I'm not doing that. Excuse me. And so it ends up being Tucker, MJ, and Cedric. Quinn goes into his little spiel of like, well, you guys already knew I had the power, blah 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 blah. I'm using it. So I think Tucker is rather looking forward to the idea of facing Cedric in the AI arena for all the threats of how bad he was going to kick his ass last week. So I do look forward to that. And Angela is going to be working her butt off to make sure that all of Quinn's plan doesn't come to fruition. And I would have to sit down and think about it more, but it doesn't feel like it was the most strategic play to me. Unless, so we've got put up there is Tucker, MJ, and Cedric. So, I mean, I guess it would have to be like no matter who gets voted or who wins veto, because the deepfake does allow them to pick the veto, they would just automatically put Rubina in their place, I'm guessing. But
I think that's the
I
plan.
don't know. Now that I'm thinking over it, it just didn't make much sense before. Like, why put both of them up there? I mean, MJ, I kind of get. She didn't really have any beef that I know of with Quinn.
No?
Her beef is just with, or wait. She said at the beginning, it was, oh, she's,
Her and Angela kind of went at it in the
it's
beginning.
Cedric. It's Cedric. So I was like, somebody has got beef with both Tucker and MJ. I just couldn't remember. But it's Cedric. So now it's all three of them up there. So I'll be very interested to see what this twist is going to be. Because shoot, I don't know how they keep up with all this. I really don't.
I don't either. I can't.
I'm lucky to remember, like, hey, did I just walk through the kitchen and take my medicine 15 minutes ago?
Right? Ah,
It was a doozy though.
yeah. It was good. I'm anxious to see what comes of it.
Yeah, I'm wondering. So I'm still looking at it in the wrong way now that I'm thinking about it. So I was like, what's the use of putting Tucker, MJ, and Rabina? And I guess unless you just want to see them fight with each other for it. But I mean, it'll kind of end up that same way for the AI arena. Because if, I don't know, because I almost kind of thought that MJ would save Matt. I almost did, but I don't know if either of them would really compromise their game for the other on this, for being in
I don't
Tucker.
think so.
I mean, would it be sweet? But I mean, I feel like, because I think Rubina, aside from Angela, is like the oldest one in the house, despite how tiny she is. Um, I feel like she would tell him it's stupid, and she would say herself it's stupid.
Hmm. I
So,
think so.
I don't know. A lot to think about there. But it was a darn good episode, that's for sure. Kind of want to
It
see
was.
Tucker and Cedric go at it some more.
I want to see
Just
Tucker and Rubina go at it some more.
you said it, not me. Shit, I told you to quit reading my mind. It's getting like sitting on the edge of my seat, waiting for it to happen.
No, like just do it already.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like sitting on the edge of my seat, like, come on, just plant one on her. I don't even care
It's
if it's
like
just a kiss. I'll go cheer for just that. Just
Candy
kiss,
Griffith. Give her a little sugar.
just kiss her already. Let's do it.
Give her a little kissy.
Mm. See that? That would be me on a reality show like that. Finding a couple like that, and you just see me peek my head around the corner and just go, come on, just give her a big old smooch. Just give her a big old smooch.
You know you want to. Just do it.
I'd be the like the third wheel hype man. If come on, look at how gorgeous she is. Look at kiss that girl.
Right.
I don't care if I'm standing right here. Kiss her. She deserves it.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine though being that young and two attractive people spending all that time together in a house? Like it's gonna happen. Just
Well, and the two of them
let it
even saying
happen.
like, well, and he flat out said, "Well, there's no cameras in the upstairs bathroom."
Oh, I know. And she was like, "Oh my gosh."
So she
No.
said too. She's like, I forget how she worded it, but she basically said she got the feels. She's feeling something.
Mhm. Somebody
Maybe
better be
maybe
sneaking
we'll.
up there with a camera.
Eh, well, I mean, they still got to keep the mics on, so that might be the better part of it.
Right? Can we just hear it?
And just okay, I'm gonna go to sleep with that. Oh
Right?
my.
Just like lay
Oh
down on your phone like
oh shoot! I can almost feel the phone vibrating a little bit. Good lord! Can
keep
your
throwing the
ear have
blanket off. It's hot in here.
can your ear have an orgasm? This doesn't seem okay. Something's happening.
So when can we have Tucker on the show?
Anytime, anytime.
Just not Matt.
No, I'm gonna sit here with a picket sign behind me that says "Screw you, crazy guys."
Oh man.
Face ain't so pretty anymore, pretty boy.
Oh geez.
Yes, I mean
Yeah.
any time that he wants to come stop by through West Virginia or stop by on the show.
You're welcome, Tucker. Anytime. Here we
Now
are.
I might have to talk to Vinny first, but I'll just be mhm, mhm, yeah.
Uh,
That's how it was with Vinny.
that makes me want to turn on the live cams and see what's going on. I'm like, where are they at
Well,
right now?
bless his heart. Vinny and Rubina should get together. Then they're both tiny. Just can we just borrow Tucker for a little bit? And I don't
Right?
want him to go home yet, but can we just borrow him for a little bit?
He has a good chance of winning this. It could easily come down to him, Cam, T-Core.
Who do we think would be the other one with him though? 'Cause, I mean, he's played some strong game.
It would come down to him and Cam probably.
The only thing is now, like, you don't see Cam doing a whole lot anymore. Well, I mean,
No, he
he's never really done a whole lot except he just happened to be in that group when the whole Angela thing happened. But
mhm.
I mean, I think he's too busy chasing ass with Leah.
I think he's doing it on purpose. He's staying pretty quiet, low key. He's not making any enemies. He's not making any real close friends who would
Yeah.
like rely on him to keep them in the game. It's
Well,
pretty smart if it's
well,
his game plan.
remember, um, him, Tucker and Matt had a thing there at the beginning,
Yeah.
but then Matt became Godzilla to their Tokyo. So that's troublesome. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I would really like to see, like, I think Tucker would be a great winner because he's been excellent to watch. He's done excellent on the challenges.
Yeah.
But I would also kind of like to see, like, T-Core and Chemo sneak in for the win.
Mhm. Then there's Joseph.
Yeah. He's been sliding real under the radar too. I feel like he's been
Mhm.
um a bit more mouthy, like with the feeds and everything, than some of the others, but
Yeah. I think if Rubina and Tucker end up together and everybody knows it, that may put them in danger.
well, I think it already is.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
I mean, when y'all are acting so much like that around everybody,
Yeah.
it's gonna get to that I can't even stand to be in the same room with the two of them.
Mhm.
So I think they've kind of already put a target on each other for that. But yeah, I don't know. And unfortunately, I feel like Quinn has a really good chance too. But I'm just hoping that the house guests get fed up with this crap.
I think he'll be out as soon as they can get him out.
Well, and it'll be like as soon as he's no longer of use to them in any way.
Mhm. I'd say after this, they're
Well,
pretty tired of him.
yeah, and if he is anything in the house like he is on the diary room videos, I'd want to punch him square in the face. I mean, I get, being animated and excited and blah, 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 but I would just be like, dude, shut the heck up.
Mhm.
Can't stand hearing your voice anymore. Chill out.
He even makes himself out to be a bad guy.
Well, I mean, when you flat out say that you're what did he call himself? When you flat out call yourself a spineless liar, um, what was it, like 2 episode, or the episode where they were cutting the feeds on Angela and you thought it was going to be like some race stuff,
Mhm.
and he basically said he was egging it on the whole time. I mean, he's just,
Terrible.
yeah,
He's a terrible person.
terrible, and just like you just don't want to have anything to do with him, be around him. Just,
Yeah.
well, Amanda, can any of these fine people find you anywhere else this week?
No.
Are you going to be here Wednesday?
Yeah, I'll be here Wednesday. I will. Who
Should
else is here Wednesday?
I think Glenn should be on here Wednesday. I completely forgot to look everything up
Who's oh,
before I
okay.
got on here of who our guest
We
is
don't
going to
know who
be.
our guests are. Surprise guest coming this Wednesday
Yep.
at 9
Be
p.m.
be there, be square. You'll find out then.
I believe we have a musical guest and
I
a
think you're right.
sports guest.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
I
And I'll
think.
have to double check on who we have on Grinning Guardian. And then we'll be back here for we'll be back here Thursday talking more Big Brother
Yeah.
and unloading all the drama on on Thursday, and then you can join us on Fridays for the Green Guardian Gang if public safety and challenge coins are your thing. They're apparently my thing now. I have a whole bunch of them now, just because they're cool.
They're cool.
And I think we should have a very intriguing episode of the Misfits this week. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun time.
Awesome. What will you be talking about Saturday night on the Misfits?
Well, I was thinking we were gonna go with the idea that you and I were talking about with the dating profiles.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we'll probably go with that.
That'll be a fun one.
Yeah. Especially if we can get some pictures and kind of make a little slideshow of them too, just for craps and giggles, you know.
Yeah.
But if you haven't heard enough of my voice, you can catch me on Mondays on the Thin Line Rock Station. You can catch me for the next couple of Fridays, also on the Thin Line Rock Station, doing Flashback Fridays, then a couple Thursdays for the rest of the month.
Sweet. What time?
On Mondays and Thursdays will be noon to 2, and then on Fridays for Flashback Friday will be 4 to 6 Eastern Time.
Nice. Sweet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we greatly appreciate you coming to hang out with us and join us this evening. And hopefully,
Yeah.
we will see you right back here on Wednesday.
For surprise guests. 9 p.m.